Ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we are going over where wins meet. So IGN put out a review that got 3.2k dislikes and they rated it a 6. Also, welcome in, Kaz. And so, well, this game seems to have tons and tons of systems that are really valid and really solid combat, MMO light features, also single player. I think Rexlin tweeted there's over 800, 900 chests in the open world just on launch. PvP, 30v30 guild battles, character slash weapon acquisition. I won't say character. Weapon acquisition is not tied to Gacha. It just seems like a really solid game, although the Gacha does seem to be very pricey. We'll go over that afterwards. So I'm very curious why they gave this a 6. I believe it was a 6 out of 10 because all the indicators really point to it being a beautiful game, a solid game, and something that seems very interesting. So let's get into it because I truly believe if the game lives up to even part of the potential it has, this can push mobile gaming outside of Gacha. I do believe that. I don't think this is a game that Gacha normies are going to like. I had this discussion with someone earlier. I think this is going to be a game that just normal people will going to enjoy. And the fact that it's not character acquisition via Gacha is goated. So let's get into it.
Wins Meet is an ambitious exercise in maximalism.
Is this also mobile? Yeah, it is. Not a mobile game. It's like 98 gigabytes on mobile, bro. Like it's a mobile game with Kaz. Also, Wilds, welcome in, brother.
Vibrant wuxia love letter filled with over-the-top characters who can practically fly through the air, grand odes to the beauty of the natural world, and the dark political sorcery that threatens all of that on a daily basis.
And we'll do it this way. Yeah, I see. Just good idea.
Combat is a steady, enjoyable ebb and flow that is full of style.
Wait, let me swap my browser. All right, YouTube, we're locked in. I'm back. I had to pee.
Who can practically fly through the air, grand odes to the beauty of the natural world, and the dark political sorcery that threatens all of that on a daily basis.
And we'll do it this way.
And that's why we're giving the game a 6, because it's a good game.
Yeah, I see. Just good idea.
Combat is a steady, enjoyable ebb and flow that is full of style and substance, but at a slower pace than you might think from just watching it. The collage of the stories it tells, both the main saga and the innumerable side fables, are a turbulent gust of ups and downs both thematically and in quality.
I probably am going to skip the story, to be very transparent with you. Either we'll play it on a second account or something like that. I want to get into the combat. I want to dissect the game, understand the fundamentals of the game. Personally, any type of mobile / MMO game, I don't care about the story. So I'm sure story probably. I love you, Iragoon. I'm sure the story probably goes into their review at some point. I don't care for it. You know what I mean?
But unfortunately, the journey to experience it all is pocked by the steep cliffs of jarring late game progression pacing and rocky valleys jagged with dizzying amounts of micromanagement that turns the very idea of interacting with its RPG systems into stone.
Okay. I wonder what that means. I hope they elaborate on that. Micromanaging in a video game.
The fictional version of 10th century China where winds meet is set in a politically broken place, where powerful clans fight to divvy up the region, both with open warfare and subterfuge. It's the perfect backdrop for you, an orphan raised by a working-class winemaker that's just itching to leave the humble life behind in search of adventure and purpose. A tale that sends you to lavish palaces, haunted caves, and dank dungeons is run-of-the-mill, with a handful of memorable moments that would be moving, but they are often undone by some pretty awful English localization that makes exchanges between characters dense with redundant sentences and turns of phrase that don't really make any sense.
All change daily and never a one missing.
It's also plagued by...
Wait, what? It's truly a place of silk, flowers, and honey. On the water platforms at street corners, they offer dried fruits, fresh fruits, and salted sours and preserves. All change daily and never a one missing. And it's all free. Am I too autistic to realize that, to think that there's nothing wrong with that dialogue? It's an Asian reference. I mean, like, all change daily and never a one missing. Never a one missing. I mean, like, yeah, I love you, Tillian. Did bro saw them say A1 missing, and he's like, man, I gotta fucking say, gameplay pretty okay. But the localization, it's complete fucking garbage. Like, oh, okay. It doesn't sound American to me. That's what it sounds like. Like, okay, man.
Don't really make any sense.
Okay.
All change daily and never a one missing.
It's also plagued by weird technical issues, like voice lines running over one another, subtitles
That
not
sucks.
matching the words coming from characters' mouths.
That's bad.
Or voices going missing entirely.
Uncle Gong said he's bringing me a new storybook.
Can you wait for me just a little? I need to go inside and check something.
With some diversions into side quests and minigame.
Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, to be honest with you, but okay. Sure. Chinese history is basically the descendants of gods. The voice line not going there is obviously a negative, right?
Dabbling. The main campaign's 2 chapters took me roughly 30 to 40 hours to complete.
Oh,
and
shit.
while they each button up their own isolated stories well, it leaves the journey of your wanderer on a rather unsatisfying cliffhanger.
Come on, let's go!
The various side stories have the same uneven quality. On the whole, the best of them are better written and far more interesting than the main campaign.
So you get 40 hours of story, and both of them are left on cliffhangers for you to come back and play the game when there's an update. So is that his critique? I'm just a little... like, am I interpreting that right? I don't understand why that's inherently a negative. Multiple movies have been left on cliffhangers, multiple animes, seasons of shows. I mean, it just feels like such a weird thing. Also, what up, Milk? What up, baby? Like, I like that. Like, he literally said that you're left on a cliffhanger. I mean, some cliffhangers are bad, right? Like some cliffhangers are legit bad, right? Like, I mean, you look at The Walking Dead. It was infamous because it did the eeny, meeny, mighty, mo. It was about Negan was about to kill someone. They left you on a cliffhanger for like 6 months, and that's what everyone spoke about. It's a way to generate hype. I don't know. What up, Wicked? Okay, it just feels like a very oddly... Sounds like the reviewer is not accustomed to the kind of delivery. Yeah, it sounds like the reviewer is just a goofy goober, to be honest with you. I don't really see... I really don't know what's going on.
One story had me leading ghosts to the afterlife after the violent fall of their
He's a
Buddhist
goofy goober.
commune.
Should father be home by now?
Another starts with me sneaking a nobleman out of his mansion because he doesn't want to commit to an arranged marriage.
Okay.
There's a spontaneity to these stories that you don't really see in RPGs like this, but they are also sullied with way more of the technical blemishes.
All right. I
True
don't
to his
know.
inspiration, the combat in Where Winds Meet is
That mother... What the fuck is this? Yo, it's gonna show me now. It's available tomorrow. Thank you for the follow, bro. I appreciate you. Dab me up. Bro, look at this motherfucker, son. Like, what? Gah. Like, what's that TikTok sound? What the why is he disproportionately, like, small, but he got that big-ass head with no neck with these Wolverine claws? Dollar store Wolverine, brother. This is the penny Wolverine. They put the penny out of stock today because this motherfucker, bro.
flashy and energetic.
Like, what?
Each of the 7 weapons feels distinct and dangerous, and
Okay.
some have different styles to discover that change the patterns of your attacks, as well as the weapon skills you can unleash on your enemy.
Bobblehead ass motherfucker. No, legit.
You can equip 2 at a time, but I spent almost all of my playthrough as a tank, with a
Okay.
spear and a glaive that would buff each other when I use specific abilities in certain combinations. Though, that's partially because it's often a real pain in the ass to find alternatives worth using.
We can go 2 ways right now. He either really fucking sucks, and he only picked a tank because he can't parry and dodge, which I'm probably sure is true. That's probably the way. Or the game legitimately has a bad balancing. Now, it's probably because he fucking sucks. Let's just be real with you. Most reviewers are not actual gamers, right? Like, to be honest. But, I mean, him kind of showing this in itself already kind of makes me just not care about the review. But
All of the ability chaining
I think it's tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, Shelby.
and buff
24
management
hours.
makes Where Winds Meet feel much more like an MMO than an action game.
Okay.
It's
No MMO plays like this, sidebar. I just want you to know that. Lost Ark doesn't play like this. WoW doesn't play. None of these MMOs play like this. Like in the slightest. I don't think he's ever played an MMO either, to be honest with you. Like, I'm very
All
confused.
of the ability chaining and buff management makes Where Winds Meet feel much more like
Oh,
an
he's talking about the
MMO than
buff
an
chaining.
action
Okay,
game.
that makes sense. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
It's faster paced than the genre might typically be known for, but this combat doesn't share any of the sensibilities of a Ninja Gaiden or Devil May Cry. There's no bouncing enemies or air juggles, nary an air combo or wall splat, just a lot of stun meter management and weaving attacks and abilities into specific sequence.
Who the fuck said it was gonna be like Devil May Cry? Oh my god, how is this person a reviewer? Why are you so let me get this straight. It's a negative because the game is not like 2 other video games you enjoy. That's how I'm interpreting that. What the fuck? I'm so confused. What a Q Cuphead reviewer? Bro, no, I actually think this game is really bad because it's not like Minecraft. I'll be real with you. I thought it was going to be a Minecraft clone, and I have to fight people instead. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Sounds like MTash talking about DNA.
The tank was right at home to me as a lapsed MMO guy. Managing when to defend and when to go all out felt almost identical to a Dark Knight in Final Fantasy XIV, except with an active block, parry, and dodge.
Exactly. So
these tools do help break up the sort of autopilot syndrome of many MMO battles, especially the parry, which becomes so important that there is even an auto parry system you can toggle on and off that gives you regenerating resources called
Bro, there's an auto parry system, and bro only still stuck with a tank. I ain't gonna lie to you. He must be cooked.
Sight points.
He must be cooked.
As get out of jail free cards when an incoming attack is about to land.
Yeah.
This was a great system for me to play around with early on, and I still appreciate it as a clever way to blunt some of the difficulty spikes for people who need it. The MMO but rowdier combat shined the most against groups of regular enemies. I'd still get to apply my beat-em-up flowchart of finding and eliminating the scariest enemy of the group while navigating the threats of all the other lower tier henchmen, but keeping my attack loop going and buffs topped off while doing so added an extra layer of tactics that really created a flow state I don't usually get from games like this.
So what the fuck is
of course, these enemies aren't very diverse, largely the
open Photoshop.
Same types of guys in different faction garb, with a special gang-specific unit to spice it up. Ironically, I think the flaws of this amalgam is most evident against bosses, where things really just get reduced down to a rinse-repeat cycle of parrying and dodging attacks, counterattacking, avoiding big telegraph blows, and so on.
That might be the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Genuinely. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing I don't like about the bosses is you have to parry, dodge, learn their patterns, telegraph their patterns, and then find your entry points and manage the buffs. So you gotta play the game. You gotta Dark Souls, any FromSoft game, Witcher 3. Like, what do you mean? Yo, what up, Six? Thunder's Blade are fucking go together from the show to see the end. Yeah, I think this guy is just clearly fucking dumb. Like he's really a fucking goofy goober. That's what it boils down. You're just whack. And like that's fine if you suck at video games. Like I get it. Like that's 100% okay. Like, you know, but how can you sit here and pretend to be a how can you sit here and pretend to review the game when you don't have a fundamental understanding of how video games work? Because if you had a fundamental understanding of video games work, you would realize in which that, well, if they have the MMO, you know, system here, like with the buffs and stacking, which you said you like, you're now in the same vein saying, I don't like this against bosses because I have to just repeat the process. You know, when you play Elden Ring, you're fighting Melania. 20 minutes into your fight, you can't just pull up a fucking bazooka and blow her up in one shot randomly. You gotta fucking telegraph the boss. Like this is fucking insane. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I listen. I actually wanted some, you know, I ain't gonna say anything. But like, holy shit.
Most bosses are just super thugs with greater health and damage.
This is just like doom posting. Like why are we doom posting this game? Like this is the definition of doom posting, bro. The game ain't even fucking out yet. I think IGN saw everyone's hyping the fuck out of this game. They said, okay, it's our time to get in there and just shit all over it. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's some things that you could genuinely criticize. The gacha for skins is super fucking expensive. I think it's about $600 for some massive skin sets, which is a lot of fucking money. We could talk about that. What we're talking about now, the fundamental basics of the game, this guy just seems like he's very uninformed. 600? That's the rumor I heard. We don't know yet, but like I did see in a Rexland video, one of the sets was $600. We'll have to see what happens, but Jesus fucking Christ, this review is pretty dog shit right now.
Than the guys like them that you've encountered in the field. The occasional big spectacle boss can shake things up, but even that tier of baddies is hit or miss. Chinese lion
what up,
dancers
Scuffed?
in a
Some shit
full
like that,
connected
yeah.
costume that hops on beams and shoots fireworks at you, hit. A late chapter 1 boss that seems to be attempting to recall Sekiro's Lady Butterfly fight from memory, miss.
It was Ling Yang. Yeah, it was Ling Yang.
The vast open world is overflowing with things to find and do when your
Awesome.
adventure begins. Especially early on, I was pretty regularly surprised by some of the mostly silly things I stumbled across,
the
like a
fuck?
bear practicing Tai Chi. But that's not simply there for a chuckle. You can actually spy on it and, through careful study, learn Tai Chi too. With
that's
it, I
fire.
could then channel the power of the wind to yeet this very bear into some nearby rocks.
Bro, what the fuck? Yo,
It's a general.
bro, that's fucking fire, son. Like, bro, he just ran on up on a bear, learned Tai Chi, beat the shit out of the fucking bear. Those for the motherfuckers saying they're picking the bear over me. Let me stop. I'm joking. It's a joke. I'm joking. Yo, Grizz, what up, brother? Thank you, Scuff. Thank you for the follow, boys. I appreciate you. This shit looks fucking insane. Bro, like, it's just contrarian to be contrarian, you know what I mean? Like, what
When
the fuck?
time permitted, I always stepped aside to try to use my mystic arts to solve puzzles in the wild. Where Winds Meet's big problem, though, is that it's filled wall to wall with other activities that come nowhere close to this sort of ingenuity. There are some jobs you can pick up that make a good first impression, like a healing minigame that turns curing diseases or setting broken bones into a card battler.
Got it.
But that doesn't evolve much and doesn't really reward you meaningfully as you progress up the ranks. Most everything else are versions of the sorts of things you'll see in any open world RPG like this, none of which change the well-worn formula of these distractions in a way that make checking each one out more than a couple of times feel worth the trip. And that's despite the fact that they all dump a bunch of loot on you every time you succeed. Just about everything you do in this game does, but very little of what you're given is even worth opening your inventory to take a second look at. It's not.
Well, but wouldn't you go back to those activities to get all the crazy amount of loot though? Like, I'm a little confused. If you don't like, I hate fishing, right? I think fishing is the worst thing ever. I will never fish in an MMO. I don't fish in any of these games. It's the worst fucking thing. He showed a fishing game, by the way. If there's no depth to the fishing, but you get a fuck ton of loot, wouldn't you go fish? You get the loot? You know what I mean? I still fish in DNA. I would never. I fucking hate fishing in games. I do.
Not that it's all worthless. Chances are it's going to include potions or food items that are going to be auto-used
Fuck you guys with the L.
or
Fuck
the
y'all.
various crafting and upgrade materials that will wait patiently deep in your pockets for when you occasionally need them. But my only relationship to any of this stuff is hoping I have enough of it when it's time to level up. Same with gear, which I just slot in whenever it's time to.
I don't know, man. I did an activity, like, okay, please. If I'm misinterpreting this, I need someone to tell me. I did an activity. I didn't want to do it. I did it for the loop, and I never checked the bag. I only did it to make sure I had enough of the materials to level up my character. But isn't that how like every fucking video game works? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I just fucking dumb? Is that not how like you complete activities to fucking get rewards to level up your character? You know, not to Doom Post like a be ignored, but as much as I've seen the game, it sounds like Gensha's MMO. Listen, man, if someone told me, right, Pride, I could watch this. If someone said, listen, I don't find anything very attractive about the game. It's not anime style. I don't like the gameplay. I think the gameplay loop is too much. Cool. And you know what? I think that's fair. This guy is trying to critique. He's critiquing systems in the game and complaining about them, But if we do a cross-reference to probably any other IGN review to other games about like boss mechanics and fighting, they'll probably say something positive about the other game. Like, how are you going to say that a boss is bad because you have to memorize the attacks, parry, and learn how to play it? They doom posting because CN devs didn't pay them enough to promote the game. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, bro, they gave fucking Concord a good rating, right? IGN gave Genshin a 9. Well, you know, I don't know, man. This is just fucking crazy to me.
Make my overall
This
power
is
level
crazy,
rise.
bro.
Weapons, armor, and accessories all have little nuances to increase things like crit rate and damage by small percentages,
Okay.
including set bonuses if you match pairs of items with similar set symbols. But this wall of text approach to equipment with tons of micromanagement is off-putting and not even very impactful until the
This wall of text. There's 3 words here. Yeah. Max physical attack. Okay, let's go to this part. Increase airborne heavy attack by 10% and knocks the target. The knockdown effect can trigger once every 10 seconds. If you scroll down a little bit, it's going to say a little bit more. What do you mean wall of text? Bro, has he never heard of a set bonus in any video game ever? Like, ever? What the fuck? Also, welcome in, Salty Carmelo. Holy shit. Blood has not seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Tax. He's not seen Wuthering Waves kits. He hasn't played any of these games, bro. Just wait till he sees Woo. IGN gave it a 6 out of 10. That means you guys got a beggar game. That's what I'm saying, Mello. That's what I'm saying. We eating good, baby. We eating good. You know, because these motherfuckers are trash, bro. It's set equipment. It's set equipment. What do you mean set equipment? This is sets on the equipment. This is set on the equipment. So this simple wooden blade, Swift Gale set. This guy needs 4 dudes farts in his face is wild. Like, what a dog shit review, bro. Holy fuck. Oh my god.
the endgame. I often just click the super handy quick advance button in the bottom corner that spends all of your resources to upgrade everything in a manner it deems fit. An option
Look, bro, I mean this respectfully. It's either one or two things have happened. You don't fundamentally understand the game, or you've given up halfway through and you didn't want to understand the game, so you let the game autopilot for you to make a review because you stopped caring, or maybe you didn't have enough time for the review as to be as charitable as I possibly can be, right? You doing this doesn't prove anything. It's one thing if, let's say, for example, you start a new account as a content creator or someone, you're like, you know what? I'm going to let the game completely auto level for me to see if this is a good system and if it's valid, or if you got to min-max everything yourself. That would make sense. That would be something on my mind. I'm like, okay, I could see this making sense. That's a really good experiment. You're supposed to be doing a review. You need to have an understanding fundamentals of the gameplay. You have to understand the sets, which apparently you don't know how to fucking read. You have to understand the open world, how the weapons work, etc. You don't need to know every single little thing, but the fact of the matter is you have come into this game pretty much putting in bare effort. So you're going to get bare effort out of the game, which, by the way, the game looks cool as fuck. Like, bro, what is happening right now? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Bro said I suck at the game. I stuck with the Paladin set, basically. Warcraft makes WWM content look easy. That's what I'm saying, bro. Get on WoW with me, son. Also, what up, Sloth? No, because they didn't pay them. That's true. That's I will not assume anything. I will not make any assumptions. I'm just saying, you know, it's a little crazy. That's all I'm saying.
It sort of makes a more damning argument against these overstuffed systems than I ever could.
Wait, what?
There are milestones that freeze your
From the back.
that spends all of your resources to upgrade everything in a manner it deems fit. An option whose mere existence sort of makes a more damning argument against these overstuffed systems than I ever could.
That is... Bro, I hate this argument, man. I fucking hate... I hate the whole... Oh, if there's a skip button in a game, it's the same thing of like when people talk about skip button in Genshin. If there's a skip button in Genshin, that means no one will play the story. Just because there's an auto-fill feature for some sort of stats and mechanics, let's say maybe people just want to get into the game. They don't want to learn it. You don't have to, right? But for people who want to min-max the fuck out of everything, want to go through a specific playstyle route, then they don't use that feature. It's very simple. I really don't think this person plays video games. You know? I really don't think this person plays video games. Reviewers discovers game mechanics in a video games for the first time and doesn't understand them. That's what this fucking review is. That's literally what it is. The skip button indicates you have to respect people's times. Oh fuck, bro. They should have gave this guy a build without the skip button and without the fucking tank build. He said a wall of text and 10. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, come on, man.
There
I'm
are
scared.
milestones that freeze your ability to continue leveling up at certain points until you pass what's called a breakthrough test, pitting you against waves of enemies that you must slay in a certain time frame in order to move on. These tests can eventually get tough, and passing raises your max level, but it then undermines that progress by also raising the collective strength of all of your enemies. Annoying.
Fire him. Fire him. Like legitimately fire him. Bro just said this is a world adventure rank quest that they do in every mobile game. They do it in Wuwa. They do it in Genshin. They do it in ZZZ. Bro literally said, okay guys, I just grinded for 17 minutes and now I have an ascension quest. But once I beat the ascension quest, the enemies get harder. And I don't like that. I don't like the fact that the enemies get harder. I actually wanted to beat the game just pressing left click. Thank you very much. Bro, just go play a visual novel. Like, just play a fucking visual novel, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck is this dog shit review, my guy? You have, like, there has to be a AAA game that has some sort of ascension. There has to be. Bro, you know what? You don't even need to have an ascension. In Witcher fucking 3, if you launch Witcher 3 and you go to the very last region, all that shit is level 60 plus. You can't explore that shit until you fucking grind to get to level 60, right? Or 50 or 40, whatever the fuck it is. It's the same exact concept. But instead, what they're doing in this game is, actually it's a little bit different, but very similar. They're bringing up the level of all the surrounding enemies, most likely, based on the way he's explaining it. And you have to progress. You have to play the game. Yes, you beat the challenge and you get a level increase, but so does the enemies. You don't fucking stomp them out. Again, not 1-to-1, but you're not going to go to a level 60 area unless you're level 60 in any video game. It doesn't take away or diminish your grind. You have to get to that point. What the fuck is he saying? Yo, Vixel, thank you for the sub. This is fucking crazy. Like, bro, we gotta send this motherfucker to the Amish, take away the internet connection, and make him start turning up goat cheese. Holy fuck. Like actually brain dead, son.
Main story quests start to become level gated as you approach the end, meaning you have no option but to grind experience in order to eventually pass these literal DPS.
Alright, bro, I'm done. I'm done, bro. Oh my fuck. Oh my fucking god, bro. Oh my god. I have to play the game. Bro, watch this shit. Watch this shit. Motherfucker, bro, him when he has to play the game. He got on the Batman mask when he was recording his review. Something's in the way. Bro, he thought he was like the fucking Batman. He had to put out a dog shit review because he was punished with playing the game, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, son? What the yo, this shit needs to be disliked, bomb. Like, you need to leave a dislike on this video. This shit is trash. I have never seen a game review so trash. Holy fuck. It's impressive that this made it to live. It's very impressive.
Checks. And even when you do, a breakthrough test might require you to wait real-life hours before you can move on to the next tier, as it did for me on 2 occasions, by gating my progress behind daily server updates, making me jump through a bunch of hoops to progress, only to tell me that I'm actually moving faster than intended.
This could be annoying. Expiration days record how long they want to read the sets for the first 5 days of Solo mode on breakthrough limits. See, this is a valid criticism. This is a valid criticism. This is what he should have been talking about. You should have been focusing on this part of the game. Yo, what's up, Judd? This is annoying. Time gating is not necessarily... It depends on time gating, right? Look at a game like Destiny 2, World of Warcraft. You can only do a raid 2 to 3 times a week. Let's say it's 3 times a week, right? You're only able to do a raid 3 times a week to get that loot. But the thing with those games is you have other things, right? You have PvP. You have other ways to get equipment that is still maybe not on the level of raid gear, but you can still acquire gear. So if the game is completely time gating every single... Shut the fuck up, Red Man. Every single metric and way to progress, that is frustrating. 1,000,000%. I will not deny that. That is fair. We'll have to see what happens when the game comes out. However, we can't sit here and like your one valid criticism, or maybe 1.5 valid criticism, is 9 minutes and 18 seconds into this video. What the fuck, Perry? Thank you for the sub, brother. I appreciate you. And yo, Idon, I appreciate you as well, dog. Dap me up, both of you. Thank you guys. It means the world to me. Oh shoot, he's live. Hide your black moms is crazy. What the fuck? That's a wild pin. But like,
is ridiculous.
What?
Don't tell me how to waste my life.
Brother, you are wasting my life right now. I should have never fucking watched this video. I'm finna crash the fuck out again. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me play devil's advocate here. So if you take the test and pass, you have to wait. Sucks, but it can incentivize you to interact with other shit. That's what I'm saying exactly. Like, again, time gating is not always a bad thing. That way they drip feed you content. It completely depends on what else is in the game. If there's more content that is sufficient enough to allow you to still progress while you have to wait for that time gate, it's not that big of a deal. Another review with almost no playtime? Yeah, exactly. No, straight up. Straight up, brother. Time gating is crap if there's a fuck all to do for spending energy with this game time. Yeah, the pause hard on my eye. Oh, my bad, DOS. My bad, dog. My bad, dog. Last hurrah for Jankery.
Gliding across the windy shore.
You should have been fired just for this. Last hurrah for Jankery. I ain't gonna lie to you. That what the fuck?
Across the windy shores, rolling hills, craggy mountains, and bustling towns of the Xionghu is a breezy experience thanks to your generous triple jump and wall running abilities, when they actually work, that is. During every play session and inexplicable intervals of time, these features will just inevitably stop working entirely, only to just be fixed when I log out and log back in.
That's annoying.
This doesn't make navigating all the mixed terrain a problem, but some hidden chests or activities that require these extra movement options are temporarily taken off the table for reasons that never feel good. Okay. Navigating lagging menus to sort out your gear, check the map, or level up your abilities can be a chore as well. Fumbling through sub-menus to click a tool...
Bad optimization is always bad. That's just, that is what it is, right?
So that I could read a further item description or find out where...
Wait, I gotta restart this part. What do you say?
Map or level up your abilities can be a chore as well. Fumbling through sub-menus to click a tooltip so that I could read a further item description or find out where something was on the map was always a draining experience. The world of Where Winds Meet could have done with a couple dozen fewer of its random 5-minute mini quests if it meant spending more time making the process of flipping through all of these spreadsheets less painful. You can play a lot of Where...
I feel like we've gotten no example of what he's talking about. Menus are complex. But where? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's right on this. Again, could be very true. Could be very true. Maybe the menus are complex. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
Spending more time making the process of flipping through all of these spreadsheets less painful.
He has his sword, mystical arts, and his gear. I don't know, man. Menus are complex, doesn't show any of it. Just fucking... Bro, imagine having B-roll which matches what you're talking about. Dude, he got paid for this. I should be getting paid for this. Bro, I should be getting paid to watch this. That's how I feel right now. You should be giving me money to watch this review. That's what's happening. Because fuck me, bro. This is bad. This is bad.
You can play a lot of Where Winds Meet co-op, but servers were pretty scarce pre-launch, and finding people to run multiplayer-focused events wasn't possible. I did at least get to take on the big raid-style bosses thanks to a full CPU party option. These automated party members were competent enough to do the Simon Says required to minimize damage when necessary, but if they weren't basically immortal, I'm not sure they would have had the chops to kill any of these scary enemies. I'm sure my experience here...
I don't know, man. I think this guy just wants to be upset. If the NPCs weren't immortal, I don't know if they'd be able to kill... Alright, bro. Well, a game beta had few players. Shocking. I just don't... How long has the game been out? 0 days, brother. There it is. I don't know how you can complain about a feature that's allowing you to play raids and dungeons off online. And I would assume if you die, it's probably over. And so maybe they gave the NPCs in your specific activity higher health pools. I mean, we also have to be honest. I think this is level 30 or level 51. I would assume this is not the highest level. Like, I don't know.
I'm sure my experience here is not representative of the design intention of these big co-op ROMs, but I'm still glad I could get access to the novel items they drop without having to find 5 of my own friends to do so.
There you go.
Greetings. Look, we really don't have what you...
I don't know.
Perhaps there's a version of Where Winds Meet that isn't throttled by the storm of its own lofty aspirations. It has a great understanding of what makes wuxia such a compelling subgenre of fantasy fiction, bleeding into a vibrancy of its characters and the flair of its combat. But it becomes clear very quickly that the attempt to shove as many kinds of experiences into one game, open world adventure, action-heavy MMO, musical rhythm game, card battler, etc., only ensures that none of these elements reach their full potential.
This is like the Anthony Fantano of game reviews, where like Anthony Fantano would just like say the word record to make it seem like he knows and understands, or bring up like an 808 or some shit. And they'd be like, you see, I understand music. It's really deep. And then just like, you don't. Right? Like this is legitimately what this is. I just don't understand it. He sounds like how he looks. Oh no. Oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna. You're insane. You're in pain. I can tell by what you're saying. Clock strike 12. Midnight arrives. Yeah, bro. That's just this is a bad review. He sounds bored as fuck reading the script. Yeah, because he tried to make it really elegant and deep, and the B-roll didn't match, and he had 1.5 good critiques.
Instead,
you know what I mean?
Where Winds Meet is an amusement park where every ride is being run at half speed, and the sugary treats at the concession stands come with piles of paperwork to complete before you can chow down. For more action...
Okay, here's how I interpret it. Where Winds Meet is a game that is very combat focused, story driven, and has tons of MMO-like features. And within those MMO-like features have included multiple mini games within the game, such as fishing. There's a couple other things. There's like a couple other mini games. I think like do dice or some shit. And so his takeaway is, I want the mini games to be better, and that's it. Just download Tabletop Simulator on your PC. What the fuck? Like, just go play Tabletop Sim.
Check out our reviews of Hyrule Warriors Age of Empires.
I will fucking never watch your review of anything ever again. Genuinely, that was fucking garbage. All right, boys, I'll see you guys in the next one.